Hey everybody, it is 6 o'clock-ish. I don't know if you'll see this when before the clock changes over or not. So I guess we'll find out. Anyway, this is for reasons that most of you are probably aware of. This will probably be my last Friday Files for a little bit. I will be going on hiatus. This is my season finale. I will be going on hiatus for a few weeks, few months, maybe to the end of the school year. Probably not that long. Taking a bit of a break. I have a stalker who has decided to just harass me, and I want to make sure that I'm careful with my family's safety and everything else. And I'm just feeling stretched kind of thin as well. There was definitely some value there for those of you who are patrons. Thank you so much. It really helped me to reflect on what I was trying to do with my Patreon videos, and I realized that by focusing on cussing, I wasn't really being authentic to what I wanted to say, because I don't cuss all the time. So, I haven't decided if I'm going to continue to post as often there as I had been, or not. But it's just been really full. I don't know if it's the time of year or I'm just getting involved in more stuff and trying to figure out how to balance all of the new stuff with the old stuff. I'm getting involved more with my professional association. Where's my thing about? Oh, yes. We went to the Capitol yesterday to speak with some of our legislators who were in session to learn more about some of the bills that are being worked on and how they affect education, what the potential, how they might need to be reworked, what some of the potential unforeseen consequences might be, how to reword some of the legislation so that it, not exactly close loopholes, but just so that there's more clarity and that we're more precise in what the law says, because that's important. And at the state level, legislators they're part-time. So they're only in there from January through April, and then they just go back home and they work with their constituents, or they go back to their job. So so they really don't make I guess technically it's above minimum wage, but honestly not by much, and I think it goes up with experience. But I wouldn't want to try to live for a full year on a state House rep or state senator's salary, because it's not a lot, and I will say that. So we talked about, we learned about some of the bills that are affecting education, and what the concerns were with some of them, and what we were hoping for with some of the ones that are more positive, and some of the potential consequences for ones that are well-intentioned, but could cause problems for educators or even administrators. So I met lots of people who are involved in advocacy and speaking up on behalf of public education, which I am just so passionate about. And it got me, I had sort of a breakthrough conceptually, because there are some voucher bills being proposed to make changes to the voucher system, and a lot of the pro-voucher language is about students having choice. And I was thinking about that, and that's something that as teachers we advocate for students having choice and having meaningful choice. But at the same time, I was thinking about this as a high school teacher. At the high school, part of the way that it functions is you have to have different teachers. Unlike in the elementary school, where you got one teacher for almost everything, and then you have your specials like art and music and physical education, and depending on what else your school offers, you have somebody else who does that. But other than that, in the early grades, you've got one teacher all day, and that's it. Then in middle school, there's some more options, and you might have one teacher for English and social studies and another teacher for science and math. Or sometimes you might have one teacher for each of those 4 core subjects. And then you also start having electives. And everybody tries all the electives and you just cycle through them. But then at high school, you'll have a different teacher each year for each of your core subjects. Maybe you'll go back to the same teacher, maybe you won't. And then there's also more gradation between, like, maybe some of the classes are AP. Some of the classes are honors, or they're specified, like one's world literature and one's American literature and things like that. If you need to have 3 math credits to graduate, and there's algebra and geometry and trigonometry and calculus and statistics, you don't necessarily have to have all 5 of them, but maybe if you're interested in math, you can take all 5. So the choice increases within the school system, within the public school system. So improving, if the focus is on improving choices for students and for families, like what I didn't hear from our education association or from the pro-education legislators was how to have more options for students within the public school system. So that is something that I think could bridge some of that contention. There's a good word. So that was interesting conceptually. And then also just sort of thinking about why different aspects of why and how it works the way it does. So, some of it was just sort of figuring things out. We were supposed to hear some speakers from the House in the morning and the Senate in the afternoon, or vice versa. And none of the legislators came over and talked to us because they were in like votes and committee meetings all day. And because we were late to lunch and we didn't get any chicken. We had salad and potatoes, yay potatoes, and green beans. And they did still have some peach cobbler left, but we got there and all the chicken was gone. And literally, and also there weren't any cups. So I was like, I just want some water. I want a glass of water, and there are no glasses. So somebody went back and got some cups or got somebody to get some cups. The person who came out was like, by the way, is the chicken all gone? And she's like, yes, the chicken's all. I was like, oh, well. But the reason that we were late was we actually did get to talk to one of our legislators. So yay. And he was aware of some of our concerns, and we talked about how to best advocate for what we felt would be best for our students and for our communities. And then there was another bill that we brought up that was a Senate bill. We're like, we're really concerned about this one. And he's like, yeah, that's a Senate bill. I don't know how, but we're pointing out if it passes in the Senate, it's going to come over here for you guys to take care of it. So just sort of be on your guard. And he's like, okay, we'll see if we can, because sometimes when the bill crosses over from the House to the Senate or vice versa, because this happened with the budget, they'll make changes to it, and then they'll say, okay, with these changes, we'll pass it on our side too. And then I don't know if it has to go and pass the other side again because of the changes. Or if that's just like a risk you take. Like if you start the bill over here, it may not end up the way you want it. I still don't know that. So yeah, this was my first time doing that, and that was really cool. But it was just a lot. And then I come back, and that was yesterday. And so I come back and I got to teach today. And then also there are emails and things, and some students, they weren't misbehaving, but they didn't really get all their work done. And then I have a student that I'm concerned about and wasn't here today and was here. And I was like, okay, everything's fine. And then I'm looking around and the student is not in my class, and the student got checked out right before my class. So that's probably a call I'm going to have to make on Monday. I don't know. Maybe I can swing things around, and during my planning period, which is earlier than the class that student is in, I can find out where that student is during my planning period and go over and catch that student before they come to my class, because then maybe they won't be gone, and be like, hey, I just wanted you to know that you have 2 absences in all of your other classes, and you have 8 absences in my class. And this makes it very difficult for you to get your work done. And when you have work that is not done and is not turned in, it is a 0. And when you have zeros and a whole bunch of them, because you don't provide any sort of documentation for me to demonstrate that you can do the work, like, it is unethical of me to say, I believe in you, I'm going to give you a passing grade. Like, no, that is wrong. So please come to my class so that you will have the opportunity to do your work with some support, because you sure ain't doing it on your own. And we'll get you the structure that you need to learn and grow and be better at doing these things, and show that you can do these things so that you can pass the class and get the credit that you need to move forward. And then there was just like all kinds of stuff with the online classes, because we were at a point where we need to check and see, are students actually logging in? Are they doing the lessons? Because if they're not, then we have to disenroll them. It's like if they just never come to class in person. But it's a lot harder to do on the online system, because you can't just, there's one place where you can check if they've logged in, but you can't just check if they've logged in, because you have to check and see if they've done a lesson, and not just a lesson in one of their classes. There has to be a lesson in each of the classes that they're enrolled in. And then also, it has to be within this time frame. So you can't just say, how much progress have they made in their classes? Oh no, that's not enough. Ha ha ha. You have to find out what the progress they've made in this 2-week time frame is. And I didn't know how to do that. So I was like, I went and I emailed one of the guidance counselors who knew a little bit more about it. He's like, yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. I'm like, fine, screw it. So I was like, okay, go online. I'm like, hello, help, person, help. And the person's like, have you tried to help files? I'm like, do not even do this to me. I just want to know what the name of this particular, they're like, you can see the progress here. I'm like, I know how to see the progress. I want to see the progress within this, within a time frame window, not overall. And because I go to the overall one and it has overall and it doesn't have the time frame, it doesn't have an option for choosing just these last 2 weeks. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, you need to find thus and such. I'm like, okay. So I have to do that for every single student. And there's like 80, I think, that I have for that. So I started in on that, and it's a lot. And Monday was President's Day, and I did something. I don't even remember what it was. Tomorrow, last week I didn't go to the Y because I live in Chattanooga, and we went to Connuga, so it was nerd stuff. And I played some new board games, and there was one called That's a Question. I really liked that. And then also, we have Codename Duets, but there's also a Disney one, which I really like because... Oh, Steve. See, I'm curious. I think, thank you for, I guess, looking that up for me, because, dude, if you just knew that, then I'm really weirded out. So, at any rate, I was going somewhere else. Anyway, it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. So, yeah. So, tomorrow, I'm going to go to the Y. Why did you just know that? I don't understand. Anyway, so the thing is, I actually do have lots of news articles and stuff, but it's been such a frenetic. Frenetic is a good word for it. It's been such a frenetic couple of weeks that I didn't. Steve, are you implying that I'm not a good citizen because I don't know that? Because I didn't know that. But I try to be a good citizen. I do try. Anyway, tomorrow, oh, this was cool. So sorry, I'm kind of jumping around in my head. I'm trying to keep it straight, y'all. I'm trying to keep it straight in my head. So last Friday, one thing that I did, and the reason that I did not get to go to Askaway is that I ushered for The Color Purple, the musical, which was up at the theater center. This was pretty cool. So, and that was really nice. I really, really enjoyed it. Steve, no, I don't know it now. I would have to look it up again. Something. It goes back to committee and then they vote again. But what if, so after it goes to committee, what happens? So they just vote on it and they don't get a chance to make changes? I don't know. Anyway, my brain says it's going to ignore that because it can't handle anything else right now. You can tell me about it later. Much, much later. So I ushered at the color purple, and it was just really nice. I haven't done that. I haven't done front of house stuff in a long time. I haven't been in a play in even longer, but my brain is not going to be able to take that for a while. But it was just so nice to just be there and greet people and say, hi, you got tickets already, or do you need to go get, they're like, I have tickets, let me just find them. I'm like, guess what? We have a new system. If you will just tell me your last name or the last name of whoever got them for you, I will look it up and I will check you in, and then you can go get snacks. Cause like it was opening night. So we had like a little catered snack table, and they had carrot cake and lemon cake, or was that another time? I don't know. And they had cookies, and they had green beans. Anyway, like all sorts of little snacky things. As well as a little bit more stuff. Like they had some ham, I think, and some mashed potatoes. I got some mashed potatoes. Yay! I like potatoes. Okay, hi Scott. And bye, and be safe with your errand. So, and it was just nice to be able to say hi, welcome. I hope you really, really enjoy this show, and don't forget to get some snacks. And if you need help finding your seat, we can help you find your seat. Oh, and there was this lady that something happened, like she knew somebody in the cast, and she had made sure that she had a seat to come to every show. She was going to be in the front row, every show, to support this person, which I think is awesome. But she came to opening night, and somebody was in her seat, and they had a ticket that was the same as her ticket for the same night. I'm like, she's like, so I sent her back to the box office to try to get that cleared up, figured out. And then as I'm helping people find their seats, there's a little bit of a break. So I go back over and she's still there. She's like, no, it's okay. It's just kind of frustrating. I'm like, it is frustrating, and it's not okay. I personally promise you, I don't know how necessarily, but we are going to get this fixed. We are going to make it work out. You are going to sit in the front. I'm like, I will find a way that does not, like, I'm thinking if I absolutely have to, I will talk to the stage manager. I will get her a chair in the wings, and the stage manager will know how to set it up so that it doesn't interfere with people entering and exiting. I'm like, that is like last resort. So anyway, and as I'm helping people find their seats later, I look over, there she is in the front row, and I just, help people find seats. And I'm like, yay, I'm so glad we found something. She's like, it worked out. You were right. I'm like, I was right. And so she got to be in the front row for whoever her person was on opening night, and she really enjoyed it. And that was just really nice. It was really nice. And the show is really good. So, and then funnily enough, just today, one of our assistant principals texted me and said, hey, I've got 2 tickets for The Color Purple that I can't use. Do you want them? And I'm just like, oh no, because I know that she takes care of her mom. And so I went up and I talked to her. I'm like, so are you, is it just, you can't go tonight, or what is? She said, well, there's a bunch of us going because we know somebody who's in the cast, and we're all going to go, but some of them are out of town and they aren't going to get back as soon as they thought. I said, you should call. I said, because sometimes they can just make a shift like that if you just ask nicely. And I said, I know they have Sunday matinees. And I said, I think they're going to do it for one more weekend. Because usually they run for 3 weekends, I think, anyhow. So fingers crossed. And I said, but I would love to. But first of all, I've already seen it. And so, yes, it's a good show. So hopefully your friends can all come. And also, I'm going with my dad to see Chess tomorrow night. So I can't be in 2 places at once. But thank you for thinking of me. So hopefully she'll get to go with her group, maybe on a different day, and hopefully they like it. I mean, because they did a good job. Like the other day, the theater people, they did a really good job. So yeah. We're going to see Chess tomorrow night. I have no idea where we're sitting. Dad's taking care of all of that. I hope that we're sitting somewhere that he can, like, where they have closed captioning. Or, well, I was going to say an interpreter, but he doesn't actually know sign language. He's just been hard of hearing, like, his whole life, and has not hard of hearing enough that he feels justified in signing. So, 'tis what 'tis. It's his choice, and we get by. So, I'm interested to see how that goes. And then Sunday, I will be at Rock City again. I'm going to take just a little moment here. I haven't looked. Let's see. How's it gonna be? No. What? I don't want to do this. Oh, I've got my ad blocker on, and it doesn't like that. So, come here, you. Instead, I will look it up on my phone. What is the weather going to be like on Lookout Mountain tomorrow? Let's find out. Hourly weather. Lookout Mountain, Georgia. Yes, I tapped that. That's where I want you to go. I want you to do the thing. Breathing. This is an opportunity to practice patience. Okay, rain, 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 rain. Saturday, rain, rain, rain. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Rain, 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 rain. Please. Sunday. Okay, so up into the 60s on Sunday when I'm working. Yes. And the rain is, maybe it's over in Spain. I don't know, but it's not on Lookout Mountain. So hopefully that will be correct. And then maybe there will be Ensign's Log in the evening. IDK. Haven't heard from Jason yet. So that's gonna be this week. I have not even thought about next week. And I've got all kinds of stuff because we traveled down to Atlanta on Wednesday night, which is part of why we didn't do the trek reluctantly, even though it would have been Poirot reluctantly, I guess. But also because it was anniversary day. Yay! So we went out and did family stuff, and that was awesome. And had special presents and special time together, and that was just lovely. And so, yeah, so I still have I got home last night and was like, I need to wash clothes. I'm so tired. And I just took my 2 tote bags and just went upside down. And I was like, clothes go in laundry. They are now clean. I mean, they are clean as of now. Like, they've been through the dryer as well. But, oh my goodness, I have so much to do. But it's all good things. And I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, y'all gonna be talking about Picard. I'm so sorry. I am glad that you have someone to commiserate with, Steve. I'm so glad. And I guess if he liked it, you guys could argue because I'm not really holding out any hope that you're gonna have fun with that. Sorry. That is another thing for which I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm not locked into watching a show that I really don't like. Yay! I'm grateful that it looks like it's going to be a lovely day out on Lookout Mountain on Sunday when I'm working up at Rock City. We have a new bookcase, and I've been putting books in there and trying to clean out the wall bookcase, which is pine boards and cinder blocks, so that we have more space so that I can go to ALA and get more books, kind of get everything sorted. So I'm actually looking forward to getting this reorganized. I'm thinking about moving some of the stuff that's on the uprights that are like behind the desk area. And I'm trying to think what I want to do with the laptop itself. Because like when I'm using, this is my library journal, this is what I'm writing in now. Like, I have to have it on my lap because like the computer's right here. And it kind of sucks. So it would be nice to have the desk actually kind of available, but it's like here's a speaker, here's the laptop, here's the blue snowball, and then like over here I have a little bit of space, but and like I can't really move the left speaker. There's not really any room, and I'm not allowed to move the blue snowball because Steve says you have to have that blah 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 6 inches from your face, 4 inches from your face. I don't know. It has to be close. So I guess I could like move it and then move it back, but the more you move something, the greater the danger that you're gonna screw it up. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, and I got my library card renewed up at the Chattanooga Library. And I have books to return over here at the Rossville Library. Yay. Other than that, yeah, things are overall incredibly hectic, very full. And if I'm going to stay consistent with my values, I need to sort of reevaluate step 5 on my list. Come on, don't rip. My list that's right here. Reevaluate. Try new things, let go of what is no longer helpful. And it's not just what is no longer helpful. Let go of what is not as helpful, even though it's still important. It's really hard to do that. That's true, because then I could put it would have to be kind of long, because I'd have to put it over here, because here I have a notepad, and it's magnetic notepad. See, notes, and then it has that on the back, and then, not that I really need that, honestly, because usually my go-to is this stuff. Receipt backs. That is my go-to. This is reuse and use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. But yeah, don't just throw stuff away just because. If it still is useful, then it can stay. If it's not useful, it goes away. Poetry. But yeah, I think I can connect a microphone arm over here. Maybe. I don't know. I will look into that. We shall see. So yeah, and I emailed the superintendent to say, hey, we're going to be going to do this. Here are some of the things I'm looking into. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. And he emailed back and said, hey, I hope you have a safe trip. And here are some of the things. So he had some of the same concerns I did, and also pointed out some other things. So I need to email him back, and I was going to do that today at school, but that did not happen. Oh, Lordy, it was so full. And I still haven't finished going through the list. I've gotten through most of the list of the online students. And I graded all the late work. So I'm all caught up with the late work, except for a few assignments that were turned in this morning. Those are not graded yet. And there's just a lot. I covered 2 classes and made some plans. I'm tutoring on Monday. So I touched base with those teachers. It's just, like, there's a lot of little things, and trying to figure out all that stuff, it's challenging. So it's almost 6:30, and I'm looking around thinking, I'm really tired, but I think if I wrap it up now, I can at least pick up the stuff that I dumped out of my bags that was not laundry last night. Well, I did put my boots away. That's good. Yeah. And I'm also grateful that I have a camera that is framed nicely. Like, that you can't see the mess down here. It's a mess, you guys. One thing I'm not grateful for, this finger. So this finger, my ring finger on this hand, both of my ring fingers were bad. This one's, the right ring finger is not so bad, but this one suddenly has gotten worse. Both of those were the worst ones that got hit with the chemo. Like, one of the things that can make your hair fall out, but also, for the exact same reason, it can affect your nail beds. And just I took off nail polish today, and I noticed that this one had gotten pretty bad, and I'm not entirely sure. Maybe if I go to like a nail salon, there would be a specialist that I could talk to who could be like, hey, here are some things that you can do to make sure that, you know, your nail stays attached to the bed. Because what's happening is you can kind of see. I don't know. If I get close, then it's out of focus. I don't know if you can see. But it's like it's got cuticle parts. Here's a pencil that I can use to point. Oh no, this one's got a dark tip. It's like it's got cuticle parts. It's got cuticle parts here, but it's also like it's got cuticle parts here. There is some connective tissue underneath the nail that is not part of your finger. It's like a slightly different type of skin. And it's like that sort of stuff is drying out or something, and it's losing its connectivity. So like it doesn't hurt. It's just kind of weird, and it's not, I don't know, it just feels like it's not good. So I want to look into that. You know, when I've got time. So yeah, I just kind of blathered for a little bit. I'm not sure when I will pick these back up again. Just don't know. I think it'll be before summer. We are planning to go and visit family over spring break. And so it's also going to depend on how things go with Stalker. It would be great if they respected the wishes and the stated decisions and the choices that have been made by the adult that they say that they care for. Don't see that happening. Expect that they are going to continue to try to cause problems. I have done nothing that I regret. Everyone is happy and healthy here. We care for each other. We take care of each other. We are kind to each other. And it's a good life together. And I think that's not something that this person is capable of understanding or accepting. So it is what it is. I do need to get back in touch with the lawyer who is drafting another cease and desist and see if I can take a look at the draft, because I want to make sure that that's solid and gets sent out. And then we'll go from there. It would be nice to have everything peaceably resolved. So anyway, unfortunately, you're not going to have the opportunity right now to put happy things in the comments, because once this is done, it is going to go away. But I will still be active in Trek Reluctantly. And then I'll still, when I have the opportunity, I'll still be involved with Ask Away and some of those things. So I'll still be around a little bit, even during my hiatus, my in-between seasons. And I will start, posting, sharing things out, and I'll have a live stream that can be shared. I will make certain that I set it up before the day of, because sometimes I haven't been great about that. So plans are in the works. Plans are in the works for how this is going to go. And another thing, I ended up staying late at school by accident because I had a question about exactly what information was needed for the online students. And I went and asked one of our sort of advanced guidance counselors, who also does some registration and is our sort of liaison with homeschooling and online schooling and dual enrollment and like all this stuff. And she's been there the entire time that I've been there, and then some. And she's retiring this year with her 30. So I went to ask her a question, ended up just sitting and talking for like 45 minutes about like everything. And she's like, have you ever considered, doing adjunct classes? Because I thought, that we could have you teach some of the dual enrollment classes because you have the qualifications and you were just so great with those honor students. And I think you just really involved and da-da-da. And if you're interested in doing some of that as a side gig, I told so-and-so that, you would be great and she should keep you in mind if you wanted to do this. And I was like, well, I don't know, will you send me their email addresses and I'll look into it and see what types of courses they want to offer, and especially if they do online. So one more thing to look into. But yeah, it's nice to have, it is a nice type of problem to have too many good things, to have so many good things in your life that you can't keep track of them all. That's a really good problem to have. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind. And I hope that your day and the forthcoming days are filled with joy and that you have people who care for you and that you have the opportunity to care for as well. Bye for now, everybody.